Welcome to another Minecraft update video for 1.20. We have a release date, another pre-release, and some changes in Bedrock Edition. And I'm not going to keep you waiting. Let's start off with that release date. Oh, that's right. On Minecraft.net, they have indeed given us a date, as well as this lovely graphic art here showing all of the different features that are going to be a part of the Trails and Tales update. But as you can see, it says that June the 7th will be the release date for Trails and Tales, and that's across all devices. So that's one to put in the calendar. The 7th of June is a Wednesday, and it's about 12 days away. Now, I mentioned that this update was being released across all devices. I mean, all supported ones, right? Which leads me to an interesting little something I found in the article. Yes, it's all the way down here at the very bottom of this article telling you about all the things in the Trails and Tales update. There is going to be support for a brand new device, the Chromebook. That's right, Minecraft is launching on Chromebook. However, I think this early access version has actually been around for some time. So as the first article suggests, it will be coming out on June the 7th, and then you'll be able to grab it from the Google Play Store on your Chromebook. And that will be another edition of Minecraft getting added to this growing list of platforms that you can play it on. Next up, the changes in pre-release 6 for 1.20, which actually came out yesterday. Now, we've discussed the recent changes to loot tables at length, but as you'll see here, there is now an optional element to this. Here inside of a loot table, there is now this random sequence entry, and if this is left empty, then it won't use the deterministic system it currently is using. This means that data packs and the like can bring back the original loot system back into the world. So if you want to play with the old way of loot working in your Minecraft world, then you can use a data pack, and of course this can be used for speedruns too. That's because when creating a new world for your speedrun, you can go into the More section and drop in a data pack. So how loot is randomized in this game is now a choice that the player can make, which I think is a great way to do this. Next up, we have a change in the advancements, specifically smithing with style, where you have to get 8 of the different smithing templates. It used to have a square outline like this. It's now been upgraded to a challenge advancement. This means when you achieve the advancement, you're going to get the sound and the pop-up toast in the top right of the screen. When it comes to technical changes, we have a recent change that's been undone. You'll no longer be able to use air blocks in a crafting recipe, but now you just use empty arrays instead. This bug had been in the game for some time. If you had your sneak option set to toggle in accessibility settings, you could be killed, respawn, and appear to be sneaking to other players. There was also a very squished video demonstration of this. If one player kills the other while they're sneaking, they respawn and still appear to be sneaking despite not actually being so. Another bug was squished involving a summoned dragon fight. If the player were to exit the world and log back in before killing it, then you wouldn't have got an end gateway, which no one wants, so that one's been fixed. A Mojang employee's name was listed twice in the credits. It was also misspelt. That's been changed. And lastly, iron golems were able to spawn on transparent blocks, which we don't want in a major release because then lots of iron golem farms will revolve around this, and it will upset players when it finally gets patched. Now for some Bedrock news. There is a new experimental feature that you can enable. This is for those of you that are playing the Minecraft Beta or Minecraft Preview Edition. When creating a new world, if you go down to experiments in the bottom left, you'll see that short sneaking is now available. You'll have to enable this to enable the experimental features. This is a change for parity to bring Bedrock and Java Edition closer together, and it's been in Java for the longest time. When you hold down Shift, you now actually become slightly smaller, which enables you to go under into a 1.5 block gap, as you can see right here. When you're in this gap, you'll be forced to sneak, so your movement will be slower. And along with this change, you'll be able to crawl as well. So when we close this trapdoor, our hitbox is going to change drastically as we come all the way down to this crawling animation where we can fit inside of 1 block gaps like this. It's something you've probably seen Java players do over and over again, and finally it's coming to Bedrock Edition. And here on Bedrock Edition, I believe the animation is a little slower, a little smoother than on Java, but I'm just going on memory here. I also noticed that the terracotta blocks are randomly rotated. Yes, look at that. The textures aren't randomly rotated in vanilla, which I think would be a nice subtle change to add. Anyways, I'm here to do redstone and just test the animations. It's definitely a little slower and smoother on Bedrock Edition. And a quick reminder, over on Bedrock Edition, a lot of recent updates have been getting vanilla parity tweaks and changes, so clearly they are trying to bring the two editions more in line with one another. And that's all I've got for you this video, but I also want to let you know after this one goes out, I'm going to be live streaming on Twitch playing on Hermitcraft. If that sounds interesting to you, come over and tell me that you came from the pre-release video. And from this point out, there might not be many more pre-releases, maybe just release candidates, and maybe not a lot for me to talk about, so there might be less coverage in the coming week. But you now know the date, put it in your calendar, it's going to be released on June the 7th. So that's it from me this video, thanks for watching,